This episode is brought to you by The Guarantors. Chasing down residents who don't pay their rent is taxing enough. Did you know you could offset the risk of renter default? Meet The Guarantors. They'll requalify your applicants and insure their rent. If the resident doesn't pay, you still get paid. Visit theguarantors.com/multifamily today. Before we jump into today's episode of the Multifamily Collective, I wanted to give a shout out to a fellow host on the Multifamily Media Network, and that is Janet Rosseth. Janet has a podcast called Optimize, and it really is a performance marketing podcast. She does a tremendous job of curating guests who come on and talk about tips, tricks, and otherwise related to marketing multifamily. And I just think she does a superior job at that. So if you get a chance, go on over to Janet, or you can type in your search bar in your favorite podcast platform, Janet Rosseth, and Optimize to find her podcast and give it a listen today. Today on the Multifamily Collective, however, we're talking about gratitude. So we live in a world that has become extremely polarized or divided. We can talk about all the reasons for that, but I think probably most of you know the reason or the reasons that we are where we are today. And I just would encourage all of us to exercise a little gratitude as we go into the election tomorrow, understanding that we as a community outside of politics and other things that give cause for us to feel divided in our lives, we are here to really be a beneficial presence for one another. And I would just encourage us all to think about what we're putting out into the world, all of us, me included, what we're putting out into the world as it relates to this sort of polarized world that we live in, and certainly in the next couple of days or 3 to 5 days as we start to figure out who is and who will become the next president of the United States. It certainly is a polarizing conversation. Again, for whatever the drivers are, doesn't matter. My encouragement to all of us in the multifamily space and otherwise in the business world is just to come together. And even if you have a different opinion, that's okay. If I like somebody and you like somebody different, that's okay. If you like some policies and I don't like those policies, that's okay. Conversely, it's okay if you like some things that I don't like. The bigger picture here and the bigger sort of encouragement of this podcast or this video today is just to have us come together in a way that is unifying in nature, in a way that is uplifting and edifying to one another. Understanding that we can have differences. Sometimes we can come together with differences and we can yield bigger and better things. So as we move into election eve, I would just encourage everybody to put on your gratitude cap and get armed for being a good and beneficial presence in the world. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.